and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the epic one himself, the Mac Daddy of knives, the gangsta of guns is back. And we're going to be talking about today about the FNP-9. Honestly, this is a really underrated gun. I think this is probably one of the best guns on the market for its price point. I mean, I caught this on sale on a Black Friday sale last year. I think I paid $3.99 plus tax for this thing. I mean, it was a great deal. This really is, no bullshit aside, this is like the cheapest SIG you could ever get, because it is just a complete SIG knockoff. It started as the Browning high power, the Browning FN-9 is how it started out. Then FN started making it by it themselves, so it's now the FNP-9. This is the cheaper version of the FNX-9. Honestly, though, I don't like the FNX series. I don't like the grip on it at all. I don't like the safety. It's just a pain in the ass. Now, my biggest gripe about this gun is this right here. This is not a safety. This is actually a decock, and it's really annoying. So, you cock the hammer, and you pull down on this. You can see, there we go. See into it. It doesn't drop the hammer all the way, but it also doesn't get the firing pin out of the way. So you can see in there, there's still a firing pin. It's that little silver in the back there that you see right there. That's the firing pin right there. So it actually doesn't get the firing pin all the way out of the way. Now, you can put pressure on this and it will not pop off, which is good. Then you could pull it back, pull the trigger, and drop the hammer. I don't like safeties. I don't like decocks. I don't like any of this crap. It's ambidextrous, so the decock is on both sides, as you can see. It's a really nice slim profile, but you got that friggin' decock that sticks out on both sides, and it's really friggin' stupid. I just dislike it. Now, there's one of those ever popular Gomers on YouTube here who just dremeled off this side of it because he didn't like it and kept it on this side. I am not going to do that. I just want to take it out completely. I'm going to warn you right now. If you do what I'm about to do and you F up your gun, it is your own damn problem. Okay? I have been working on guns for a very long time. I'm just too lazy to go to, gunsmithing school, but I pretty much know most of what all those schmucks know. And it's not... I've read enough books. I've done enough work. I've got a good friend who's a gunsmith here in Phoenix. I've watched him do a ton of work. I've done work with him. I've helped him do stuff. So I know what I'm doing to a pretty good extent. So if you F up your gun, I am not responsible. This is your own problem. You get to take it to an armorist, and you get to pay to have it fixed or send it back to FN. Your choice. All right, so first things first. Drop the mag. Rack the slide, pull down on the takedown lever, take the slide off, okay? Put the slide away, we don't need it. All right, next thing, grab the hammer, grab the trigger, pull the trigger, slowly release the hammer. You never want to just slam your hammer, it's just never good. All right, so there's a couple things you gotta look at. Let me get a pointer. So we're just using the Glock Armorist tool, the little cheap $8 thing that you can get online. So there's a couple things to look at. Let me see if I can get this right. Okay. So as we're looking right here, we see, I gotta do this backwards, it's annoying. See this little spring right here? Now on your Glock, if you're gonna take out the slide release lever, this spring is actually captive on this lever. In the FN, it is not. This spring is independent of that lever. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see in there. All right, there it is, right there. See, right there? That's actually part of that spring. And the only thing that's holding that in is this right here, which as you can see as I rotate the takedown lever, that moves. That's what's holding that spring in. And for what we're going to do, you don't need to take this out, so you don't need to F with it. But just know that if you start monkeying with this and that spring pops, you're going to have to take all this shit apart, and it's not Glock pretty. So, the only thing we're going to do is we're going to pop that pin right there out. Now there's 2 pins. You got pin up here that holds all this together, and you got a pin back here that holds your firing assembly together. So all we're going to do is take our punch, put a little bit of pressure, and oh, see, there it comes. All right, grab it with your other hand. All right, grab a pair of pliers. Sometimes it's easier. Just slide it right out. Put it to the side. We're gonna need it later. Don't lose it. All right, now here's where it gets odd. So now we're gonna pull up on all of this, and this is part of your trigger. This is actually your trigger assembly right here. It's not part of the firing assembly. So as you can see, all right, sorry about that. So we're back. I had to fish my light out of my pocket, so I'm carrying the Streamlight Stylus Pro right now. So I'm gonna try to do this. I need more hands. So we're gonna pull this up now that we've taken the pin out. Now, if you look right here, oh, wow, this light's not working either. You're gonna have to fucking figure it out, guys. You see the bar right here behind this little feed lip right here? You just have to take this and get it off the bar. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it and jiggle it a little, and there it comes free. See that? This just sits right over that. So put that all back, because right there, watch, if I push up on this, see the trigger's moving? The trigger is part of this assembly right here. So we don't want to mess with it. Just gonna put it back, and we're gonna put this aside. So all we're gonna do is work with this. This is your firing assembly, basically, okay? So this is, I'm telling you guys, not for the faint of heart, all right? I promise you, if you don't know what you're doing, this is just a bad idea. Please don't do this if you're not confident. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. As you can see, it is one continuous piece all the way to the other side. So which means we have to take out this piece right here to get this free. Now, on this side, on the left side, so if you're facing it like you were looking down the barrel of the gun, this would be our right, and this would be our left. On this left side, there is this piece. Let me get this in frame for you. There's this piece right here and a spring that keeps it. So you can see when we push down on that, this is actually what does is what forces it to decock right here. So when we take this out, this comes out and this spring comes out. So these 3 pieces are going to come off the firing assembly. Now this is under pressure, so when this comes off, this little friggin' spring is going to friggin' fly if you're not on the ball and catching it. I will tell you right now, the first time I did this, it took me 3 weeks to find that effing spring. It was a pain in the fucking ass, and just don't do it. Trust me. I'm really trying to dissuade you from doing what I'm about to do. It's really not worth it, but I'm going to do it anyways. So let me zoom back out so I can get some room to work. Alright, so what we're going to do is, if you've got some punches, I really recommend you use punches for this. Find one that's about the same size as this thing, which I think is going to be this one right here. This is a 5/32 punch. So we're going to use a 5/32 punch to remove it. Now, first things first, we got to take the pressure off the spring. So what we're going to do is, you see those little hooks right there? See them right there sitting on the little black nubs? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little plier, we're going to grab one, we're going to pull it over, and we're going to release the pressure on that spring, and we're going to do it and release the pressure on that spring. So now everything will kind of free flow. Now this is where it gets scary, because the minute you start taking shit out, this stuff will just start falling apart. I'm telling you, it's a pain in the goddamn ass. Alright, first thing we're going to do is, if you can, try to take this piece apart and get this spring out first. So I'm just going to kind of dissuade that up and hopefully catch the spring with it, which I did. So that is now off. This we're going to put to the side. You need to save this if you ever want to put it back on, because you need that. Now that that's off, we're going to take our 5/32 punch and we're going to push that center tube through. Okay? Now I'm going to try to do this. No, there's just no good way to do this. Fucking Christ. Just hold this shit together, pull the damn punch out, and slide this bitch right the fuck off. Now, put the punch back in, try to line everything back up. There we go. Okay, everything's lined back up. Now, get your roll pin, big ass roll pin, put it on top of the punch, and start pushing the roll pin down and the punch out. And maybe, if you're lucky, which I don't think I am right now, you might get it to slide right through. Oh, sex money right there. And it slid through. All right, now, last step. Those little springs that we released earlier. So you got to grab them one at a time. Pull them back up. And this is going to take some muscle, guys, so don't be a pussy like I am being right now. And get that spring. Come on, bitch. Don't be a puta. Come on, don't be a puta. Being a puta. And hook them back into where their little ears are. Come on. There we go. All right, and our assembly is back together. Zoom back all the way. All right, now we've got it out. Let's get our lower back. Now, flip this bitch back up. Use this little piece right here to grab it if you need to. And see that little tooth-like doodad right there? See how there's a little space right there? That goes over. You kinda gotta wedge it in there. And it will fit. You just gotta play with it a little. It will catch. And like that. Nope, oh, didn't catch. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. Now it caught. Then you just kind of got to set everything down in there. Line everything up. Not lined up. There we go. And it all sits down nice and pretty. Roll pin, or your pin. Use that to push it in there. Just a little final tad with that. Okay, everything's back in there. That's working. That's working. All right, so let's put our slide back on. Lock it in. Drop the thing. And looks like we didn't fuck it up too bad. So that's how you remove the decock on the FNP-9. Like I said, if you do this and you F up your gun, shit out of luck, homie. Take it to a gunsmith. Pray to God you didn't break it too much. Send it back to FN and hope they warranty it, because I'm probably sure doing this killed the warranty. But whatever, I like it this way. It gives you a nice slim profile right there. You don't have that stupid decock on either side. Like I said, I've been with firearms long enough. I can comfortably have a chambered round, pull the trigger, hold that, and drop it, and not worry about it. I can also do it with one hand. I'm comfortable doing that with a loaded gun. Been doing it for years. I have single action, cowboy guns. So that's the only way to do it, and you just get used to it and you do it. So that's how you remove the decock. This little bad boy right here from your FNP-9. As always, Semper Fi. Have a good day. Again, don't try this at home.
Oh my God!